This is Pepsi. I don't know if I've seen this one. This is a re-upload. Pakistani propaganda exposed. It's a re-upload, and I watch a lot of his content, so I don't know. We'll see. But I do like Pepsi. It's always entertaining. And somebody, who knows why is his character, what is it? Crap. What's the giant rodent in the world called? What's the giant rodent in the world called? It's not a caribou. What's it called? The giant rodent in the world? Capybara. Why is his character a capybara? Why is Pepsi's character a capybara? Well, it's the giant biggest rodent in the world. I'm just curious as to why. What, you hate rodents? Okay, yeah, but if anyone knows, tell me. I'm curious. Why is it a capybara? I need to hit him a message on X or Instagram or something, because honestly, that's the biggest question I have for Pepsi. Pakistani propaganda exposed.
A Korean man dressed up as a pregnant woman and was harassed by Indians. We all saw this video, but it is completely fake. As per this Korean YouTuber himself, he wore the pregnant disguise in Bangladesh, not India. And he played Holi and enjoyed it in India as a man. The videos were clubbed together to target Indians and India. This lie was spread by a deliberate Telegram channel run by a Pakistani Canadian, Sadiq Ali. And this is what he wants to do to Indians.
I think I saw this, but from Sandman's perspective. Because it looks familiar, but it doesn't sound familiar.
Yes, that's right. And this got all the brown sepoys jumping the gun with their India hate ritual. Hi guys, this is your propaganda police Gogo. To my surprise, Pakistanis are behind the online hate against Indians. How? I can't believe this. You're telling me the country that gave shelter to the most wanted terrorists in the world is behind this? Really? And what's this Task Force 2990 they have created to spread Indian hate? Is this like a regular full-time job in Pakistan? Do they get paid for this? Is this how they solve the unemployment crisis? They look so serious in these chats. Victor Codex India, Muzamil, copy this caption, post harder. We need to help our brothers with social media jihad. We can't get a better opportunity to do PR for Pakistan. Yes, this is exactly how Pakistan will pay off its IMF loans and save its dying economy. Sadiq Ali, a Pakistani, is on a mission to spread false information and incite violence against Indians. Is it so difficult to understand? These Chinese and Pakistani propaganda groups are being run by criminal-minded digital terrorists like Sadiq, and these would...
It is ridiculous how one person's video, the Tyler Rivera's video, has become like the cornerstone for all the Indian hate. It's all related to poop now. Everything's related to poop, which makes no gosh dang sense. No gosh dang sense to me. Again, you can take anyone's nonsense from any nation in the world and easily ascribe it to the entirety of that nation when it's just a small little groups doing it. Yet for some reason, when it comes to India, that's all allowed. When it's just like, even Indians call out certain things that are happening wrong in India, just like Americans will call out, well, you would hope they would call out things that are wrong happening in America. You would hope that people would call out things that are bad happening in their own nation. Why? Because it's better for their nation as a whole to call out anything that's bad. It's crazy. It's crazy. But the fact that it just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. This stuff just... And to me, this India hate train really started with Tyler Rivera. I don't know why people say it's all started with like PewDiePie. I'm going to be honest, never really knew who he was. I know he played video games back in the day when I was doing YouTube, but I never cared to watch him or anything like that. So yeah, I'm way out of the loop on the lore. But yeah, people say it started with him, but I don't know. For me, I started really noticing the hate after Tyler Rivera's poop festival. After the poop festival video he did.
Videos are just the tip of the iceberg. Their goal isn't only to justify racism against Indians. And guess what? The Singapore government noticed the Chinese propaganda against Indians and blocked anti-India content. And what did the Indian government do about it? Nothing. At the very least, they could have made groups like the Pakistani or Chinese Task Force, isn't it? As ridiculous as it sounds, there are groups and accounts that exist just to spread anti-India misinformation. This is nothing, it's just another attempt of Pakistan to fix its unwhitewashable image of being a terrorist-producing country. And you shouldn't be surprised to know that a lot of Indian content creators and politicians amplify their propaganda in their own ways. This is just sad and shameful.
India ranks 157 out of 180 on the Press Freedom Index. This is below Pakistan and Bangladesh. Are these rankings giving you sleepless nights, Valki?
I love every time one of these reports comes. So there was a democracy index. India ranked below Niger in Africa. Niger continues to have a military junta. They jailed their president, but they are a better democracy than us. There's something called the happiness index. Pakistan ranks above us. Broke, infested by terrorism. Clearly, they don't understand this country, or they don't want to understand.
And this portrayal of India by the Western media, where is it coming from? Is this deep-rooted bias towards India, or is it hate?
When we had a big win in space.
I remember that.
You remember that cartoon, right? That bias is so ingrained. They still see India as the land of snake charmers.
Narendra Modi as that spear charmer.
I remember doing a story post the Pahalgam attack. 8 out of 10.
See, the thing is, I can't completely agree with any of this, because for me, I think I just have a different way of looking at the world. I always have. Like, I'm gonna be honest. Like I've always said, what got me to actually look into India? My wife. If it wasn't for my wife, I'm honest, I wouldn't care. I honestly wouldn't care. Why? Because I would have had nothing, no driving interest. If anything, I would have found out like cursory knowledge, and that's about it. Like the bare minimum. But other than that, I mean, I'm not going to invest myself in something that doesn't affect me personally. Right? I mean, that is how most people want to live their lives. So for me, it's hard to wrap my head around that people will look at like a meme or something, and their whole ideology will be created off of that. But then again, I didn't get into the Vine generation. I skipped Vines. I skipped I'm still not into shorts. I'm not on TikTok. I don't believe in like this mindless get 60 seconds of information and that's all the information you need on one topic. I don't believe in that. I don't believe anyone should do that. I feel like people should look at things from another perspective, try to see it in their own way. I've always viewed things that way. So for me, it's hard for me to wrap around that people are just racist for being racist. But at the same time, I get angry when people are. So when I was traveling to visit my wife for the first time, I was getting messages from my sister-in-law that I thought were incredibly offensive, because she was showing me reports on like the border skirmishes. She was showing me reports on like, oh, this is happening in this spot. And I got so pissed. I commented that, you know, up the mountain where I work, there's a serial killer. Been there for the past 13 years. She stopped talking. She didn't say anything. Why? Because I guess she looks at the world the way most people do. So I don't think that way. I don't. I only look at like how the world is affected everywhere. That's why I always say, like when I'm watching a Wani video, I always look at that. It's just like, that's literally America. America's going through that same stuff. Even though it takes place in China, America's dealing with all of that. Every nation has the same exact problems. They just code it a different way. But I've always looked at it that way, and I'm someone that hates politicians openly. I think we need leaders, not politicians. But it's so fascinating that all this stuff just seems so forced. But it's so weird that people always just view the worst of the worst of the worst. Like my sister-in-law. Well, I'm not going to go down that because that's a whole can of worms it just created problems. But it's just like I just don't understand that kind of mindset where you see one bad thing and then you're like, well, because that one bad thing is happening along this border, which is, a problematic border. Of course, that means this spot that you're traveling to, which is, what was it, like 100 kilometers away? Something like that. Like where we were visiting, it was like 100 kilometers away from the border. And it's just like, of course, along where we were at, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be the same exact problem that's happening along the border. It's like ridiculous. Do you think he's genuinely feeling the pressure? What do you mean? Am I feeling the pressure? Okay. See, China investing in doing propaganda against India is still fine. Their country is developed, but why Pakistan invests heavily on defaming India when they are literally going down? Well, the thing is, it's just like the reason why it's going... Why? So let's say I live in California. Let's say California, which it's constantly said it's going to do, secedes from the rest of the United States of America. We will have no power because we don't really have any power source. We don't have any dams. We would have no water really. Even though we have some water reservoirs, we wouldn't be able to grow our own crops anymore. The almonds around the world, like 99% of the world's almonds, would stop being manufactured at that point in time. We would have no real infrastructure. Like Texas could secede and stand alone. Like the California refuses to refine its own oil, refuses to dig up its own oil. That's how far behind California is. California would have to constantly beg and beg and beg. And if you look at it like Pakistan, Bangladesh, they were separated during the partition. They constantly want what, well, India has. India has the land. India has the opportunity. The problem is California would be the Pakistan of that situation. California has oil. California has the land to create crops. California has the capability to actually take care of itself. It just chooses not to. And then California looks at the rest of the United States as, oh, they're the reason why we're like this. So Pakistan is literally doing that, going like, India's the reason why so of course they're going to cause more hate. Of course they're going to cause more hate. Why? Because that's how they're supposed to be. They're supposed to be the successful ones because they opted for that. Most of the Western media articles against India are written by Pakistani original journalists. I don't know. But again, I'll never truly understand that kind of mindset because even though I've seen it firsthand, it pisses me off because it just doesn't make there's no rational sense to it. There is no rational sense to it. There just isn't. There just isn't.
Were written by Pakistanis in international newsrooms. All 10 basically talked about Pahalgam as related to Kashmir and not a terrorist attack. It was a terrorist attack.
And then you have Indians who just cannot hear anything nice about themselves. Oh, you look too good to be an Indian. Well, I'm not Indian. I'm actually Pahari, part Bihari, with my ancestors from Kerala. Shut up! All of that is India. By the way, did you hear about the celebrity dog in China that was literally stolen and eaten? No, I'm not kidding. This is official. The celebrity dog had over 1.5 million followers. This happened recently. Yes, it's difficult being a dog in China, even if you're a celebrity. This would have been more believable and relevant if it was the lockdown era, when the whole world hated China because of the Chinese virus. Now they are trying to shift the hate towards India. Hate Indians because they are highly skilled and they steal your jobs. Because they have a religion that doesn't blindly follow a book and asks you to question the existence of this universe. Because the cities are dirty, unlike the rest of the world, which is heaven. Because there's a tiny village nobody knows about that celebrates the cow dung festival. But don't talk about the sheep poop throwing festival in Ireland, or the Indonesian coffee literally made from elephant poop. Anyway, so this lady went to one of the filthiest places in India, even according to Indians, but had a different experience from what the propaganda creators say.
How do you stay in India? It's so dirty, it's so crowded. Well, now I'm in Delhi. Look how lovely area. India is a huge country with the greatest culture. If you're looking for gold, you'll find gold. If you're looking for rubbish, you'll find rubbish. I've been to Goa, have the best memories from there. I've been to Rishikesh, Agra, Jaipur. See, like, what you see on social media, it's very coarse. This is the dirtiest country they speak about. Washing the floor.
That's the thing. It's just like everyone complains about India being dirty when it's not. When it's not. Like their airports are far cleaner. You walk outside, it's actually like where they have cleanliness groups coming through and cleaning it up, especially the tourist spots. The tourist traps are absolutely spectacular. Absolutely spectacular, incredibly clean. It's when you go to like the other, like at the Golden Temple, you'd see like the trash piles and things like that. That's an eyesore. But other than that, everything's kept pretty clean. It's just all the trash is pushed to a corner. It's pushed to a corner, which needs to get gotten rid of at some point. Every small neighbor blames all problems on the bigger neighbor. USA, Mexico, India, Pakistan, Russia, post-Soviet states. Yeah. Again, they always blame everything on everyone else. They want to hate the rich and wealthy neighbor, and then also the weak ones always blame everything on the rich neighbor. It's like, what, they took everything from us. They took everything. They have all the resources. It's not our fault. It's not our fault. That kind of nonsense. It's ridiculous. But yeah, it like, again, you go to the malls, incredibly clean, especially inside. But again, there's always like this pile outside behind the mall where it's just pushed until it can be picked up and put away.
Outside. If you're coming to India as a tourist, I would just suggest to know someone from here so they can tell you which areas are better. For me, I'm not going to dirty places, I'm not going to dangerous places. Delhi is not the greatest city of India, but you can find good spots here.
See, India has its issues. Corruption, pollution, education, it has all of that. Like many other places in this world. Going from a colonially destroyed country to one of the major economies within just 60 years is not a joke. Preserving its culture, religions and languages after thousands of years of invasions is not a joke. And this is just the beginning. Of course, it has its enemies that try to break it internally. Of course, the West has always had an agenda against India. This shouldn't be news to you. I'd like my fellow Indians to again ask this question to themselves. If the invaders and colonizers couldn't do it over thousands of years, what makes you think this propaganda will work in 2026? Indians are used to it now.
Well, I think it's about affecting the younger generation and making them believe it about themselves. If you can get, like, look at what's happening to the West primarily. If you can get a people to hate themselves enough to to open the gates and allow the enemy in, you've won. The UK is a prime example. New York's a prime example. Like, if you allow the enemies to believe that they are the problem and they need to open the gates to the invaders, you've won. And that's primarily what's going on. If you can instill enough kind of self-hate, you will allow the borders to be open, the gates to be open for the invading force. Because the people feel like they deserve less. The people feel like they should be having have their time as slaves. That's just how it works. It's the white guilt, Catholic guilt, Hispanic guilt, black guilt, whatever you want to call it, civilized society guilt, to allow the barbarians through the gate, because the barbarians now need civilization. So let's allow them in. That's primarily the main cause. You can take over the world as long as you allow the people of each nation to lay down their arms and not defend themselves.
Well, this is my first showcase. I know that so many of you have been here with us for the last 25 years. So if you look down and you have fan on your badge, you will be getting one for free later this year.
Be like her. She was hated all over the internet when she became the CEO of Xbox, and one of the reasons was just because she's of Indian origin. But all she cared.
She is? How do people know this stuff? How do people know this stuff? I can't tell. I can never tell this stuff. It's so ridiculous. To me, people are just people. They really are. I mean, I can tell a black man. I can sometimes tell a Hispanic, but and again, I sometimes will get I could get a Hispanic confused with an Indian. I mean, heck, when my dad was in India, everyone thought he was Indian. Everyone thought he was Indian. It's just like I don't speak. Because he's incredibly well, how'd you say it? I mean, I don't know. Like, I mean, he's very tan. He's very tan. And very colorful. He's a very colorful person.
cared about was her work. She proved her potential, and now those same people are calling her a gaming goddess. Except the blind racists and Pakistani terrorists. Now what? Pakistanis will boycott Xbox? GTA 6.
Her name is Asha Sharma. I didn't know. I didn't even... I'm gonna be honest, I don't bother reading people's name tags or titles when they pop up on screen. It's like... They're just a face to be there. Most of the time, it's just like, oh, it's just some CEO. It's not important. It's not important.
The most anticipated game in the history of humanity. The majority of the developers are from India. Apparently, India haters won't play that game because it smells like curry. In fact, they are planning to leave YouTube because the CEO is Indian. Also, they're planning to boycott Microsoft and Google for the same reason. In fact, they're planning to get off OnlyFans and squeeze their wiener to some Chinese AI girlfriend because the CEO is Indian. What I mean to say is, meritocracy beats propaganda and hatred any day. Also, I would really like to see India get back to its roots and value meritocracy so that the brain drain finally stops. They need to be using all that potential to grow India, especially considering the current anti-India climate.
It's just sad how much social media has done India wrong. Like, it's such a beautiful country. Look, there's places like this Nongdrong. Look at this place. A valley above the clouds. Absolutely amazing. There's so many beautiful places, and it's just sad that social media will only show people the slums, the bad street food. But it's like, what? Are you serious? There's this. It's like one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen.
See, these videos don't blow up for a reason. It doesn't fit the narrative that they're trying to set on the internet. There are thousands of micro niches on the internet to support your confirmation bias. You see what you want to see. An average person is an...
That's what I say. That's what I say. The problem is the fact that people are so... I think it really started when they were talking about my safe space. Oh, you have to take care of my safe space. You can't hurt my fifis. I need to be in this secluded bubble and only hear what I want to hear. And the problem is the algorithms now encourage that because guess what? They want to keep people scrolling. The second someone sees something that they do not like while scrolling, they'll close the app and close the phone. So the algorithm learns not to constantly show them that. The algorithm learns to not let them see that, so that way they continue to see more of their bias. They continue to see more of what they want to see, the hate. Because they, in a lot of cases, they just want to feel superior.
As horrible as the show in these hateful propaganda videos. You can have your reasons to hate India. You can also have your reasons to love India. But don't force your beliefs and prejudices on others. Propaganda doesn't change the reality.
I freaking enjoy Pepsi. Always great. Always great. It's just, I don't understand how people come to this stuff, these biases, these unrational opinions without actually knowing anything. Like, even for me, I didn't talk, like, I talked about Indian cinema because I was watching Indian films, but I never talked about India because I had never been there. It wasn't until I had traveled there that I actually started talking about India. Why? Because I had been there. I feel like you actually need to physically travel somewhere before you have the ability to even talk about it. If you don't travel to a location and you're starting being critical of that location, you have no say in that location. Like, the people that live there have more right to speak on that place than you do. Like me, I could say whatever hate I want about China. I've never been to China. I have no right to speak on it. It's China, it's the people of China that have a right to speak on China. It's the people of Japan that have the right to speak on Japan. It's those tourists that have traveled there that have the right to have an input on it. But the thing is, you can never, like, I enjoy watching travel vlogs every now and then with my wife, seeing like other places or like the hotels of India or things like that. Like, that stuff is fascinating to me. It's fascinating. But at the same time, I'm never going to completely listen to that person's word for it, because I'd rather experience it myself, because I won't truly believe it unless I personally see it, I personally experience it. That also is a very jaded way to go through life, because you have to, it gets me kind of detached from hardships because I'm not personally there. I don't personally experience it. But at the same time, I'm willing to listen to the people there that have more information, not some Americans speaking on the fact of a war going on in the Middle East that they have no concept of. It's like, no, listen to the people there. They have more of an understanding than some stupid American of random descent having an opinion. Oh. I always enjoy Pepsi. Sandman is Pepsi who moved to the dark side. Yeah, true. True, absolutely true. Pepsi always gets me yapping for a bit. Always gets me yapping a bit.
You guys got a video?
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Wait like that.